Conference USA basketball from Denton, Texas, and winter has hit North Texas. Cold and rainy on the outside, but inside the Super Pit, the Mean Green take on a red-hot Lady Topper Ball Club from Western Kentucky. Welcome inside the Super Pit alongside Heckma Harrison. I'm Doug Anderson. Heckma, these Lady Toppers have won 6 in a row. They are 4-0 in Conference USA play. A big reason for that, even though they're young, they've got a senior who leads them in Meryl Abdelgawad.
Yeah, Abdelgawad it's cold outside, but she can get it hot in here. I'm telling you what, man, she can hit shots from anywhere on the floor. She is the talent for the Toppers, but as much as we're going to talk about her offense, it's also what she does on defense. She's leading the team also in steals. Like you said, this is a young squad, but they have senior leadership that could definitely take them over the top. And on the other side, for the Mean Green, it's Jazzian Jackson. Jazzian Jackson, I'll tell you what, we could go to any of the starting 5 players, but Jackson is going to be the catalyst to get this offense going. Her and Quincy Noble are the stars on offense, but I tell you what, her rebounding and also steals as well. This is going to be 2 of the tops in Conference USA.
Absolutely a great test to start things out for the Mean Green in Conference USA plays. They are 1-1 in the conference heading into today's matchup. North Texas, coached by Jaylee Mitchell in her 7th season, 90 wins, 99 losses for the UNT Hall of Famer. And Western Kentucky, led by Greg Collins in his 4th year, 60-42.
Yeah, the Lady Toppers, I tell you, since they have come under command by Collins, he has done nothing but win with this program and have them slated tops in Conference USA. A lot of people thought that they would be 12th, and boy, were they wrong.
That freshman class has certainly been a big reason why they are at the top as opposed to the bottom of the conference. 5 freshmen who make up 54% of their scoring, driving to the rim. Off the mark, Maya Meredith, one of those freshmen and one of the better ones as well, as she has had some big games in her last 4.
Well, you saw that Jalen Mallard, she definitely affected that shot. And that's the one advantage that the Mean Green have. They have the height advantage in this game, so not allowing any easy shots in the paint is going to be imperative for a victory here in Denton.
You see the starters for the Lady Toppers as a high one off the glass misses the mark for Abdelgawad.
Yeah, Abdelgawad, she can get her shot off from anywhere, and you see right now she's being aggressive, trying to get into the paint, get some easy ones to get into the flow of this game.
Jackson controls over to Noble. And Gomez will drive into the paint, has it taken away.
Jalen Foster sitting her feet and getting into the lane and getting a steal to get the offense started for the Toppers.
Alexis Mead runs the point for the Toppers. As the ball taken away by the Mean Green. She is one of the top assist players in Conference USA and leading all freshmen in assists per game.
Well, that's just saying something about this program when you have a freshman leading in assists.
Shot partially deflected for Jackson, knocked out of bounds. Possession arrow goes to North Texas. No score here in the early going from the Super Pit. As that cold weather has affected the shooting, perhaps, between these 2 teams.
Maybe so, coming out ice cold. But then you see immediately Mitchell comes off of the bench with Amber Dixon, who's more of a starter than a 6th woman off the bench.
Absolutely. Dixon coming into the game needing just 6 points to go over 1,000 points in her career when you combine her points at La Tech with what she's done with the Mean Green. Jackson shot off the mark. She was looking for a foul, got one as it goes against Jalen Foster.
You like to see that from Jazzian Jackson, just being aggressive. And you know what she's going to do. In this game, going back to last game versus the Thunder and her, boy, did she have her hands filled with Savannah Wheeler. And she was a big part of why Savannah Wheeler couldn't get a shot off.
Jackson hits the first. Jackson want to be starting something from the free throw line.
I see what you did there, D.A. I like that.
Second one good as well. 2-0 lead early going for North Texas as they try to go 2-1 in conference play. Noble with the steal.
They're coming out with that pressure immediately, and that's a great adjustment by Jaylee Mitchell's squad.
Ball thrown out of bounds by Dixon. Miscommunication between her and Jazzion Jackson.
Ball ricocheted back here behind us. We can't take the heads off.
I wasn't going to take the headset off and go after it. So, unfortunately, they looked at me a little funny, but I'm not getting up. Once I'm sitting, I'm sitting.
You're sitting, all right. Let the people know, DA.
Double team and driving baseline Blevins. Puts the shot up and good. Three-pointer off the nothing but net for Maya Meredith.
Yeah, Maya Meredith, you see the initial perimeter defense that double teaming the shooters, but Maya Meredith is unbothered as she caught that ball.
Ball taken away by the Lady Toppers, and Meredith on the run. This time missing on the layup, but there's a foul underneath the basket.
Yeah, I saw the break going, but I just wanted to say Maya Meredith caught that ball in rhythm and went right up with the shot and drained it. You can tell right now these freshmen are playing above and beyond. I don't see a freshman out here. That's a senior move.
Meredith has been back-to-back Conference USA Freshman of the Week. 3 of her last 4 games, she's been over 20 points. Misses at the free throw line. And the Lady Toppers lead by 1, trying to make it a 2-point game. They do.
And see, this is what they do. They stress your offense out. They go in between a full court and a zone and man all the time. So you just don't know what they're going with. And this is going to be the matchup, the coaching changes, just the chess match that's played between both of these coaches.
Noble drives, baseline, and good.
Love to see that from Quincy Noble. Anytime she gets those shots going in, I tell you what, it's going to be a long night for the Toppers.
Executing on defense, North Texas trying to, but Western Kentucky finding a little offense here now after a cold start.
Yeah, you can see that from Abdul-Gawad. She's just so explosive, and again, in the lane, she's going to take advantage of any opportunity that she has to get that shot off, as you saw right there.
Dixon lines up for 3, and it's good.
It's all money. That is all money for Amber Dixon. Right off the bench, she's looking for her shot. But I tell you what, most important there, DA, just watch how she is on defense. Always great. I mean, some of the things she does won't make the stat sheet, but she is always moving those feet.
Abdel-Gawad with a hard drive to the basket. Mallard hits the court. And they will call it a foul on Jalen Mallard. That will send Abdel-Gawad to the free throw line. 72% free throw shooter on the year, and by far and away has made the most trips to the free throw line for the Lady Toppers. That is her 94th free throw shot of the year. She is 68 of 94 on the season.
Just tells you the kind of pressure that she's going to put on this defense. They're going to try and contest those shots, but I tell you what, Abdel-Gawad is always money.
Perfect from the line on that trip, and Western Kentucky maintains a 1-point lead. Noble with a feed to Jackson. Into the corner, Quincy. Up top, taken away. Stolen by Meade. And Meade will drive to the basket, hard hit as she misses on the shot, but that was probably a well-placed foul for Jazzion Jackson to prevent the easy layup.
Yeah, Alexis Meade, this whole thing was set up by her, and her hustle started with her running around screens and deflecting and getting the steal on that pass, but hard foul by Jazzion Jackson is going to set her up for 2 at the charity stripe.
Meade 72% on the year, makes her first. Second in Conference USA in steals with 55 now on the year after that theft on the other end of the court. 3-point lead for the Lady Toppers. Under 5.5 minutes left in the first period. Gomez with a drive, kick out to Dixon. They feed it around Noble. And Noble from the corner, good.
Every time she gets it on that baseline, man, she's easy, relaxed, and under control, and she's going to drain that shot.
Blevins with a drive and a foul called on Dixon with a push on the baseline.
May not be one that Dixon agreed with. Not a whole lot there, but I tell you what, it's just all the aggression that the Toppers are bringing to the stadium.
Mean Green trailing in the early going from the Super Pit, actually tied up at 10 with Western Kentucky, and coming off of a victory that snapped a 3-game losing streak. Hegma beating Marshall on Thursday night, 64-54.
And they had to have a tremendous effort on defense to slow down Savannah Wheeler. They had to do it on both ends of the court, but I'm telling you what, this is the kind of effort, that kind of effort is the one that they're going to have to mimic tonight to get a victory versus Western Kentucky.
North Texas tying it up at 10 before the last timeout. Lady Toppers in all red with the black stripes down the side. Three-pointer miss from Foster, and a whistle underneath the basket as there's a foul called against the Mean Green.
They're trying to make some adjustments on defense and still not able to get the rebound, and foul ensues. That's a cheap one that I know Coach Jalen Mitchell is not going to like that.
Substitution checking in, Emma Vilas Gomez for the Mean Green, a grad transfer out of Texas Tech by way of Fontenay-sous-Bois, France.
I tell you what, that's why they pay you the big bucks.
My daughter speaks a little French. I had her pronounce it for me just to make sure I got it right. Free throw good there from Maya Meredith. And a successful trip to the line has Kentucky up by 2.
Trying to do a really good job of closing out on the shooter. Number 5, Maya Meredith. That's a great job.
Dixon stepping in front of it, Abdel-Gawad. And Merrill Abdel-Gawad driving to the hole. Blocking foul called against Dixon. That's one of the keys for the Lady Toppers. They love the transition game. That transition game starts on the defensive end with steals like that.
Absolutely, and Abdel-Gawad, I talked about her in her offensive prowess, but also those steals, and you saw it right there in the paint. If she see any opportunity to get her hands on the ball, she will do it.
Lady Toppers a plus 0.9 in the turnover margin. Abdel-Gawad at the free throw line, missing it on the first.
Don't see many of those, do you?
Not from a 72% free throw shooter. Second free throw, no good. Mean Green still trailing by 2. Allie Gomez will run the point. Kendall Magruder, a freshman out of Grand Prairie, Texas, in the game for the Mean Green.
Yeah, Magruder is a three-point specialist. I tell you, as soon as it hits her hand, she will get that shot off.
33% on the year. Actually, 44% from three-point range on the year. You're right about that. 12 of 27 on the season. Gomez stepped in front of it, knocked it away briefly, but the Lady Toppers have it. Abdel-Gawad with a drive, a kick out. Now Mead, pump fake, send it over to Meredith. Meredith, runner, no good, and another whistle.
Yeah, they're getting a couple of quick whistles down here on the defensive end for the Mean Green, but I tell you, they did a lot. Actually, that's going to go back to the Mean Green. Yes.
That was on Meredith, charging in. And North Texas with the ball, a chance to tie things up. Gomez, runner bounces off the rim, no good. Mead with it, weaving her way toward the basket. It's back to Meredith. Nowhere to be, guarded by Jackson.
Love the aggressiveness of Meade.
Three-point shot good for Hope Savory. That's her first attempt of the game, and the sophomore from Louisville drills one.
And this is what Western Kentucky can do to you. Even though you're winning, the rebounding, they're just a shoot. Once these guys, they heat up, they will pull off from you.
As a team, a 33% shooting team from three-point range. Meredith driving hard, and that is a charge as Gomez took the contact to draw the foul.
Yeah, that hurt a little bit, and you can tell the way that Ali Gomez is walking, boy. She took that right in the chest. Ooh, that hurts.
Hanging in there, Ali Gomez, and stays on the court. 5-point lead, Lady Toppers. Magruder thought about that three. She's itching for it. Now it's up top, over to the corner. Jazzion Jackson from the corner, a three-pointer good.
Really needed that one to go down if you're Jazzion Jackson. She's putting out a lot of effort on defense, and that was the reward.
16 points against Marshall. Trying to follow it up with another solid performance tonight. Miss on a three ball for the Lady Toppers, and a foul as there was a reach in going against Gabby McBride. Big day for Gabby McBride, Heckma. She played her high school ball at Liberty Christian just down the road in Argyle, Texas, and I'm sure she has a lot of friends and family here today to cheer her on.
We have a little red contingent here at the Super Pit. You can tell family members are here to see their loved ones.
Two Texans on that Lady Topper roster, McBride and Jalen Foster out of Austin.
There's a bad pass by Kendall Magruder.
Turns into an opportunity for the Lady Toppers. Abdel Gawad, way outside the three-point line, now drives in. Shot off the glass, won't fall. Noble with the rebound, loses it. Now has to cling to it. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow points to the Mean Green.
Something to watch here. Ali Gomez, she had 9 defensive rebounds the last game here at the Super Pit versus Marshall. They have her listed at 5'6", but it's just amazing to see how her ability to get those defensive rebounds.
She's one of the more consistent rebounders on the team. Noble with a shot right underneath the basket. Fails to go. Jackson with a steal. And back to Noble with a chance to tie the ball game. Gomez, top of the circle. Inside. And Villas Gomez charged with a foul on the offensive end.
No, I think they call it a jump.
Okay. Staying corrected.
Yeah, get out that tied up. Possession hour is going to go to the Toppers.
Wasn't able to keep the ball in play there. And with that, the possession to WKU. Savory. The handoff to Meade. Now Meade will drive, kick out. Meredith guarded by Jackson. Under a minute to play in the first period. Meade for three. It's good.
Can't play defense any better than the Mean Green did right there. I mean, they were in those passing lanes, and you have Kendall Magruder, who is definitely putting her defense together, but still they're able to find the open shooter, and the Toppers are knocking down shots here at the Super Pit.
Alexis Meade, a freshman out of California. Good three-point shooter at 38%. Now the Lady Toppers with another steal. Abdelgawad driving, it's good. And Mirel Abdelgawad puts a nice end to the first quarter for Western Kentucky. She has 6, and the Lady Toppers lead it by 7, 20-13. Mirel Abdelgawad, the senior from Cairo, Egypt. 6 points tonight. One of the most consistent scorers in Conference USA.
Yeah, and you see that, man. She is one of those guys. She's one of those players that she could go for 30 easily. And it's very simple. It's not like she's hitting those three-pointers or anything. She's in the paint. She does all the dirty work for her team, steals, all of those things. She will be all over the court tonight. I said that in the open, and she has not disappointed.
She is coming off a 33-point game against Rice on Thursday. That was her fourth 30-point game of the year. Meanwhile, Lady Toppers lead it by 7, make it 4. Three-pointer. Good for North Texas.
Kendall Magruder does not hesitate when she gets that ball.
Very confident three-point shooter Magruder, and she gives North Texas a little bit of fire here as they make it a 4-point game, but very quickly on the other end, Lady Toppers with Maya Meredith able to stretch it back out to a 6-point lead.
And off the bench for Jaylee Mitchell is Trina Mims, having to go deep in the bench today to get some production.
North Texas has a full 15. Lady Toppers only have 12 on their roster, and all of them get a little bit of time. But your main rotation consists of those freshmen along with Adelgawa. Meredith driving off the side of the glass and taken down by North Texas.
And the Toppers are only one of 2 squads in the NCAA that starts 3 freshmen. So that just tells you the kind of trust that Collins has. And I think even to this point, DA, I'm sure you would agree that those freshmen are not playing like freshmen.
No, they are not. This class has matured quickly, and they have made Western Kentucky a factor in the Conference USA race.
Oh, Trina Mims, where have you been?
Nice floater by Trina Mims, who didn't play against Marshall the other night. Meade, guarded by Magruder. She drives off the left hand, and a foul. Magruder will send her to the free throw line.
Yeah, Meade is so tough, man. Gets a defender going one way and comes right back into him. I mean, she's going to get a foul each and every time because she is going right into your body.
Alexis Meade out of Moreno Valley, California. One of 3 Lady Toppers averaging double figures on the year. Makes her first. She has 5 on the night. It's Meade along with Abdelgawad and Maya Meredith who average the double digits for the Lady Toppers. Second free throw good. Likewise, North Texas, 3 players in double digits as well. Of course, Quincy Noble, joined by Jazzion Jackson and Ali Gomez. 6-point game, North Texas trying to reduce that lead here in the second quarter. Magruder has to fight for it, saves it. Milas Gomez feeds it over to Townley. Mims spins, loses it to Meredith, but North Texas with it right back. Gomez, Magruder, three-pointer on the way, no. Mean Green with the rebound. Another near steal for the Lady Toppers as Hope Savory stepped in front of that one and drew a foul.
Yeah, she's reading it the whole way and waiting for that corner pass to come in. That was easy for Hope Savory. She was waiting on him.
This Lady Topper squad, outstanding defensively. They hold opponents to an average of 67 points a game. Their goal is to keep you under 60, and if they can do that, then they stand a very good chance of winning.
And the way that things are looking right now is leading towards that. You can already tell, DA, they have 10 steals in this game, but only 5 rebounds. They're not worried about that. They're trying to intercept those passes.
Meredith, shot hangs forever on the rim.
Yes, it did. Wow.
Finally falling off to the North Texas ladies have it, trailing by 6. Baseline drive Gomez, and a foul on Savory.
One of the surprising things right now, I believe, for the Mean Green is just that the ball movement. They're not getting the ball into their shooters' hands, and it's probably because of the steals. They're really in there's some apprehension right now in getting those balls off because they know that the Toppers are waiting on every pass.
Jackson hesitates, drives, kick to Mims, baseline, floater, no good. Fight for the loose ball. Vilas Gomez with the rebound for the Mean Green. Townley almost has it taken away again. Jackson drives off the glass and good for Jazzion Jackson, and she wanted a three-point opportunity.
Yeah, she felt like she got bodied a little bit there, but Hope Savori, but no foul was called.
Makes it a 4-point game. Lady Toppers with it with 6 minutes left to go first half. Abdel Gawad for three. Actually make that Blevins. That was Macy Blevins with her first basket of the night. And it stretches that WKU lead back out to 7.
See the confidence in all of their shooters. Doesn't matter. As soon as they get that ball, they're getting it back up and getting a good shot in. That's the same thing that's going to have to apply right now for the Mean Green.
Jackson overthrows Mims. Ball goes out of bounds. Another turnover for the Mean Green.
It's just an effect. The effect of all those steals right now, DA, you can tell, man, this team they're trying to be very cautious of their passes. And right then, Jazzion Jackson, who doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes, especially passing the ball, makes one.
Lady Toppers with a chance to take their biggest lead of the game. Savori drives, ball gets knocked out of bounds. They say that the Lady Toppers are the last to touch.
I believe it went off the leg of Hope Savori.
You get another look here, and that's exactly what happened. So the Mean Green down by 7, trying to close the gap. Quincy Noble up top. Gomez calling out signals, ball taken away. And a whistle, as there was a foul before. The Lady Toppers can start their break.
Yeah, Abdel Gawad, another steal for her, and then a foul. Yes, you see her step in right there, Nali Gomez. Tell you what, she does it all for her squad.
Another whistle and a foul away from the ball against the Lady Toppers, and that will bring us to a timeout with 4:57 remaining in the first half. Lady Toppers up by 7. North Texas trailing Western Kentucky by 7, 27-20 at the Super Pit in Denton. Doug Anderson and Heckma Harrison with you on a chilly Saturday in North Texas. And that chill apparently has affected the Mean Green. They are not shooting very well from the field in this ball game. I shouldn't say that. You look at the stats and they're shooting 50%, but their opportunities have been limited by the defense of Western Kentucky.
It really has, and I tell you what, for shooters like Quincy Noble, you expect for her to get more looks in this game because she's going to be the catalyst if they're going to get back in it and get a victory.
Noble looking to get hot herself. Last 6 games, 5 of 31 from three-point range, and has not put up some of the numbers that you might expect, even though she's been relatively consistent. Townley, baseline, won't fall. Ball knocked out of bounds and belongs to the Lady Toppers.
Maybe something to that, DA. I tell you what, you talk about it being cold outside and cold in here. The Mean Green just haven't found their offense and not used to seeing Maddie Townley miss point-blank shots like that.
Savori will feed it up top to Abdel Gawad. She looks for a pick, drives, and an easy lane to the basket for Meryl Abdelgawad.
And Maddie Townley is probably one of the best defenders out here. Her and Amber Dixon, not used to seeing her get blew by like that. They have got to do a better job of closing out on the shooters because the Toppers are taking it to them in the paint.
9-point lead, under 4 to play. And a whistle as a foul is drawn.
Savory's laughing because she's like, what did I do? I just got my face in the way.
Sometimes that's all you need.
It's a foul.
North Texas will inbound. Quincy Noble right in front of us here at the scorer's table. Noble. Double team, top of the circle. Over to Townley. Gomez, the kick to Noble. Three-pointer, no.
It was in and out.
It was halfway down.
Yes, it was.
Abdelgawad, she drives. Throws one up off the glass, no good. Yeah, and the mean green defender hits the turf. That's Gomez again. She's taking a lot of physical punishment in this game. It's another time that she's hit the deck. 3 or 4 times in the game she has.
Yeah, she's just so tough, and I was talking about her defensive rebounding ability. She just has the uncanny ability to be able to predict which way the ball is coming off of the rim. And again, you just have to continue to look down at your roster and check, is she really 5'6"?
14 fouls against Western Kentucky. As Townley looks to feed it down low, take it away.
Yeah, they want to take advantage of a height right now, but still the Toppers are playing suffocating defense down in the post.
And it's Macy Blevins with her second three-pointer of the first half to give the Lady Toppers a 12-point advantage. And that will draw a timeout for Jaylee Mitchell as it's the biggest lead of the game for Western Kentucky. We've talked about the opportunities being denied by Western Kentucky as far as North Texas is concerned. 12 steals in the first half for the Lady Toppers. That tells you a huge story in this ball game.
Yeah, they get those steals, but I think the one thing that you can just point to where the Mean Green are not having any success is just closing out on the shooters. When you get it into the hands of Macy Blevins like that, that's the second three-pointer that she's hit, and she's getting that shot in rhythm. And so this 12-point lead, they can expand on that. And you go and you look at the stats like we are, and we're saying, look, the Mean Green has 12 rebounds to their 7. But it's the steals, DA, like you said. 5 to 12 right now, and they are taking it to the Mean Green.
They've turned those steals into opportunities on the offensive end. And in the first half, Western Kentucky shooting an unbelievable 71% from three-point range. They are 5 of 7 here in the first half.
They are warming the building up.
Somebody needs to. Noble. Up top, Gomez. North Texas looking to create a little friction of their own. Jackson. Feed inside. Shot up and good. Tamisha Lampkin with the bucket down low.
And they should continue to go back to that because Tamisha Lampkin at 6'3", that's an advantage.
Meade drives, loses it. Jackson has it. Transition for the Mean Green. Jackson goes all the way.
Love to see that from Jazzian Jackson, getting the steal and in transition getting points.
32-24 now. Abdelgawad with a feed underneath to Hunter. Now up top, Blevins feeds it to Faustino. So the substitutes getting some moments here for the Lady Toppers. Faustino's shot won't fall. And the rebound down to Lampkin.
That's good defense right there by Ali Gomez. Just keeping her feet moving, not allowing any easy shots. And you could tell when they took that time out that Jaylee Mitchell, she definitely emphasized defense because that's how they get back in this game.
That's exactly how they'll decrease this lead for Western Kentucky. They've got to get just as tough on the defensive end as the Lady Toppers have been in this game.
Yeah, Toppers are just shutting down those passing lanes, not making it easy on them.
First free throw from Lampkin, no good. Lampkin 20 of 39 from the line coming into the game. And makes her second. That will make it a 7-point game. That's where Western Kentucky has spent a large portion of this first half, about 7 points in front.
Collins comes right back off the bench with Maya Meredith.
Blevins in the game, she has it. It's taken away. Gomez with the steal across half court. Gomez a feed to Noble. She'll drive, kick back up. Gomez finds Lampkin. Down low for a beautiful feed. And North Texas within 5. Trying to close out the first half strong. Hunter. Over to Blevins, now Mead. Thought about the 3. Abdel Gawad. With Blevins now driving. And her shot won't fall. Lampkin with the rebound. But Tamisha Lampkin has come in and provided some big moments off the bench for the Mean Green here late in the first half.
And you see the impact on this game immediately from Lampkin and her size and affecting in the post.
Follow up on the shot won't go. Mims. Abdel Gawad, she will drive. She loves that right-handed scoop. It goes with a foul.
She is just doing such a good job when she gets her touches. But Abdel Gawad, man, it's unstoppable. She knows exactly where she's going. She's getting to that right box, getting it off the glass, and one.
Abdel Gawad, the first player of the game into double figures. 10 points for the senior. And she'll try to make it a 3-point play. Good from the line and an 8-point lead for Western Kentucky.
I believe the Mean Green have found something down in the post right now with Tamisha Lampkin. They got to try and get back to it.
Mims controls it. Off the pick from Lampkin. Now Lampkin trying to post up down low, but Western Kentucky tying it up outside the 3-point line. But they did a nice job that time as they were able to box in Maddie Cleary, force a turnover.
You can tell it is definitely bothering the Mean Green, this defensive pressure that they're getting on them. And that's another shot that they're getting up, making it look easy, has the Toppers in this first half.
Mead with a 3 off the mark to end the first half, but the Lady Toppers shoot 63% from 3-point range and lead it 35-27 at the break. We're back to the Super Pit in a moment on ESPN. Getting ready for the second half from the Super Pit, Western Kentucky leading North Texas 35-27. We focused at the beginning of the game on 2 players. Heckma for Western Kentucky, Meryl Abdel-Gawad, their leading scorer. She obviously has come to play this afternoon and has lived up to the hype with 11 points in that first half.
Yeah, you know, when we do these production meetings and we talk about the players to watch, and sometimes you can be a little disappointed, but my goodness, has Abdel Gawad not disappointed. But for the Mean Green, Jazzian Jackson, she is trying to pull her weight and do everything to get these guys back in this game. So far, not looking good for the Mean Green.
Jazzian Jackson, who came into this game averaging 10 points a game. She has scored in double figures 3 of her last 4. She led the Mean Green on Thursday night with 16 points against Marshall, 9 points tonight. She's going to get into double figures again, you would think, and if so, that just shows you that she has really upped her game here in the last 5 or 6, starting to become a very big factor for North Texas.
Yeah, and they're going to need more of that as they go into those Conference USA games that you just outlined. But you're right. I mean, Jazzian Jackson, she's looking for a shot, and she's being a lot more aggressive. A lot of those points that she got in the first half was just her going coast to coast after she got a steal or a rebound. Again, she's got to get some more help from the support around her.
North Texas When you talk about support, you're usually talking about players that support Quincy Noble, but in this case tonight, Noble needs to step up a little bit and support Jazzion Jackson because Quincy Noble in that first half only had 5 points. She needs to step up here in the second half and have a big final push here in order for North Texas to come away with a victory.
Yeah, the Toppers are definitely double teaming her, and they know where her spots are. They know where she wants to get the ball on that baseline jumper. She is almost automatic. I want to say automatic, almost automatic from there. The Toppers know it, and they're doing a really good job of disrupting her and taking her off of her spots. And these two, you see them right there, Jazzion Jackson and Quincy Noble, they've got to get things going here in the Super Pit.
That's the dynamic duo that North Texas will rely on here in the second half. Meanwhile, the Lady Toppers have Abdel Gawad, the senior, and then 4 very good freshmen that help support her. Inside, the shot good by one of those freshmen, Jalen Foster, as Western Kentucky takes a 10-point lead.
Yeah, Jalen Foster just sitting right there on that box, turns right in with her elbow. Even though she's double teamed, she's got a smaller man underneath her. She takes her shot.
Jackson with a drive. Hesitates, kick out, Townley. Townley with a loose ball there, picked up by Noble. And Quincy Noble will take it to the rack.
Right on cue, when we talk about her, here comes Quincy Noble.
Abdel Gawad feed to Blevins up top. Mead guarded by Jackson. Goes to that left hand, almost has it taken away. Lady Toppers leading by 8. Feed inside Abdel Gawad. Trying to hold on to it. Shot clock going off as Foster put the shot up. No good. And that is a shot clock violation as it's a turnover to the Mean Green.
That's a great job by Maddie Townley and Ali Gomez communicating on the switching out here on defense because the Toppers were definitely trying to get them in a mismatch.
Noble. Give it to Jackson. Jackson, a junior out of Dallas, loses the ball. Abdel Gawad had the steal, trying to take it the other way, and dribble it right out of bounds.
Well, she's so sneaky and quick-handed. You think you're going to get an easy pass in on Abdel Gawad, and she's not going to allow it. Look at this right here, boom, and she is on her way on the break. Quincy Noble does a good job of, moving her feet and staying in the way, and luckily for the Mean Green, that ball goes out of bounds.
Jackson was ready to bring it in, but apparently it was not time, according to the officials. Now they are ready to play. Gomez. Guarded by Mead. Up to Noble. And Quincy Noble will drive in, drive out, drive in again. Shot no good. Abdel Gawad on the left side. There's a whistle away from the ball. And the foul looks like it'll go against Jalen Foster for contact underneath the basket.
Oh, that's all Maddie Townley. That's a senior move. She set the freshman up for that one easily to get the foul.
You got to use that experience where you can.
Oh, yes, you do. We talk about the support. Maddie Townley is another player that I'm used to seeing, get her shot off as well, inside and out. Hadn't had that happen much, as I say that on cue. She's trying to get a shot in, but Maya Meredith with the foul.
Yeah, Meredith committing a foul on Townley. And that will send Maddie Townley to the free throw line. 63% free throw shooter for the senior out of Duncanville. One of the great storied programs in Texas high school basketball. She won a state championship, was undefeated in her senior year. Second free throw good. Townley comes into the game approaching the milestone as well. She could become this season the all-time leading rebounder for North Texas. She is 17 boards away.
And that's saying a lot. That's just really is saying how successful she's been in her years here at North Texas.
Blevins, long distance, it's good. Third one of the night for Macy Blevins.
Oh, Macy Blevins says, take this with you.
A freshman out of Monticello, Kentucky. She is approaching her 7th double-figure game of the year. She has 9 points as the Lady Toppers lead by 10. Gomez, the 3 won't fall. Blevins there for the rebound. Abdel Gawad on the offensive end, back up top to Meade. Now it's Meredith to drive. Into a double team, misses, and the ball goes out of bounds, still controlled by the Lady Toppers.
Really impressed by number 3, Alexis Meade. She's putting a ton of pressure on this Mean Green defense and getting inside to get that rebound.
Meade sends it up top, Abdel Gawad. Lady Toppers riding that 6-game winning streak and trying to stay undefeated in Conference USA play. Meade, nice up and under move, misses on the shot, and a foul called against Meade on the push.
Yeah, Maddie Townley just getting in there, positioning herself and trying to get a rebound. You can tell she's laboring a little bit. I don't know what's hurting, but you can see it. Maybe came down on her ankle.
Jazziana Jackson, guarded by Meredith, will feed it over to Gomez. Mean Green trying to get the offensive gears going. Townley, shot, won't fall. They have gone stone cold here in the 3rd quarter. Rebound down low by Mallard, but she is harassed and eventually fouled as well.
It just seems like as soon as the Mean Green get something positive going, the Toppers come back and they trumpet with 2 good things of their own. But Jalen Mallard trying to get in and get those rebounds and go right back up with it and attracts the foul.
Foul on Abdel Gawad. Under 6 minutes to play in the 3rd. Here is a scoop and a score for Jalen Mallard.
What a move. What a move by Mallard. And she has to make her presence felt down low in the paint. Was not able to get any of that in the first half. It was all Tamisha Lampkin.
Mallard, the 6'2 junior out of Little Rock, Arkansas, transferred from South Alabama. Gomez, long feed, down low Mallard, and the ball goes out of bounds. North Texas will maintain possession. Jalen Foster knocking it out of bounds for the Lady Toppers.
Extra pass right there, but not able to get any points out of it, but that's great defense, and it was all set up by Ali Gomez.
Noble, feed to Townley, and a bucket for Maddie Townley. That makes it a 6-point game. Meade to Blevins, and over to Meredith. North Texas doing a nice job denying the inbound pass, trying to keep the Lady Toppers out of the paint and force that last-second shot at the buzzer. But Western Kentucky comes right back with a steal. Now ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, great defense right there by the Toppers. It looked like the Mean Green were going to be able to get off and start a run, but not so much. They were able to come right back and present a steal of their own to try and present a run.
Both teams in a little bit of a scoring drought here in the 3rd quarter, but Western Kentucky still on top, leading by 6, 40-34.
And the Mean Green, if they want to get back in this game, Doug, they got to get some defensive pressure going. They got to get their energy up, and you've seen it here in the 2nd half. Just trying to put themselves back in this game.
0 for their last 5 field goal attempts now, the Lady Toppers. And their scoring drought approaching 3 minutes of game time. North Texas, though, has not really been able to take advantage of that. Jackson will try to change it with a three from the far side, no good. Abdelgawad driving and good.
Yeah, you see Abdelgawad realizing that she has a smaller player in Ali Gomez on her that maybe is trying to attract a charge. She's seen that way too many times. She stops at the box and makes sure that she gets that easy layup.
Abdelgawad, the only player in the game in double figures with 13. Missed by Noble, rebounded by the Lady Toppers. Here's Abdelgawad. She'll drive now, turn it back outside and hand it off to Hope Savory.
You see Coach Collins' squad just slowing it down a little bit, using more of that clock. They've been running so fast from the first half to now. It really seems kind of weird to see them slow the ball down.
Give and go, and a great pass from Gabby McBride to Maya Meredith, but the shot won't fall.
Yeah, the freshman Maya Meredith doesn't miss many of those.
Abdelgawad called for a reach-in on Maddie Townley. And for Mirella Abdelgawad, that's going to be her third foul. And that might represent a chance for the Mean Green to do something if Abdelgawad gets into serious foul trouble.
Well, they got to continue to stay aggressive, and who's ever on number 4 has got to continue to go at her. And with those 3 fouls, what they cannot afford to lose is their top scorer in Abdelgawad.
Townley at the free throw line, good on the first, and good on the second as well. 4 points for Maddie Townley to make it a 6-point game. Western Kentucky on top 42-36.
Now here may be an opportunity for the Mean Green to make a run with Abdelgawad going out of the game. It's just the defensive energy that they put out. I talked about that earlier, and it's galvanizing their offense. They have to stay with that.
In the game, Foster pass to Savory. Savory loses control. Back up top to Blevins. Blevins will feed it to Maya Meredith, and North Texas employing that zone. Doing a pretty good job of forcing some bad shots like that one by Savory, and the Mean Green with the rebound.
Bad pass by Ali Gomez, but she did everything that she could there on that defensive rebound.
Foster trying to tip pass it over to Gabby McBride. It goes out of bounds. And we'll stay with the Hilltoppers. Jalen Mitchell watching from the North Texas sideline. Hasn't been the prettiest game for the Mean Green, but still with a chance to win this thing, down by 6.
Yeah, they're looking to go inside, and Maddie Townley knows that, and she does a good job of intercepting that pass. They're trying to get the easy passes inside, but I tell you, these Toppers are keeping their hands moving and not allowing it. And those
Savory with a miss. Noble bringing it, taking it to the left, and no good. And both teams really just out of sorts here on that last sequence. Hegma, every time North Texas gets a steal, Western Kentucky answers it right back with a steal. Missed shot, both ends of the court. Seems like they're mirroring each other right now.
Yeah, they are expending so much energy on the defensive side, and you can see it for both of these teams. Their legs are jello at this point. I tell you, it's going to make for an interesting fourth quarter. And the Mean Green just continue to stay around. They've got to knock down some of these threes. They hadn't had many go down for them so far.
Still trailing by 6. A couple of three-pointers would be a welcome sight for the Mean Green. Meredith, she drives. Her shot rattles around and won't fall down. Jackson with the rebound. Jazzion Jackson with 3 rebounds to go along with 9 points this afternoon. Still no Mean Green player in double digits. Underneath, Dixon has it knocked out of bounds with some emphasis by Gabby McBride.
Yeah, Gabby McBride is like, nah, you're not gonna allow. I'm not gonna allow that to happen on my watch. So you may want to try that one again.
Does get called for the foul, and that will send Dixon to the free throw line. Amber Dixon in the ballgame, 3 points. She came in 6 shy of 1,000 points for her career. So with 4 points now, just 2 away from that milestone. Second free throw good as well. The grad transfer out of Louisiana Tech with 5 points on the afternoon to make it a 4-point game.
You know, you love those players that come in, like you said, that transfer, and she's done so much on the defensive end, and they come right back with Hope Savory just staying aggressive and getting a 3-point.
Yeah, that's 5 for Savory. She'll have a chance at a 3-point play. Jazzy Jackson called for the foul. And Savory, one of the more reliable Lady Toppers at the free throw line, 78% on the year. Thought that was a 3-point opportunity for Savory. Is that not the case?
Yeah, I thought so too, D.A.
I guess I missed it. Might have been an offensive foul. Oh, lane violation is the call for the officials against the Lady Toppers. Missed that one. Bill Lawrence, Ivy Seals, and Jacqueline Watson, our Conference USA officiating crew this afternoon. Kendall Magruder, 3-pointer, yeah.
That's the one that they needed. They needed that shot to go down badly. Right now, closing in 5-6 on the 3-pointers. Western Kentucky is still leading it, but they've got to keep their eye on number 1, Savory.
3-point game now after the Magruder 3. Blevins, the pass, and dribbling down to the baseline, Faustino. Over to Foster. Jalen Foster's shot won't go. North Texas with the rebound.
Yeah, good drive by Foster. Like you said, not able to get it to go down. That's good defense by the Mean Green as well. And there they go back to Tamisha Lampkin. And I'm telling you, that's where it is for the Mean Green, getting down in the paint to stress this Toppers defense.
Great job by Lampkin to make it a 1-point game. Under 20 seconds left in the third.
And D.A., you saw what that 3-pointer did for their momentum.
Driving, baseline now, Gabby McBride. Give it up to Merritt, a 3-point shot on the way. It rattles in and out, shot no good, and Lampkin with the rebound and a whistle underneath the basket. With .1 left in the third.
Oh, they're questioning that foul. That looked a little touchy, but.
Foul's called on Kendall Magruder, and yeah, I don't know. I'd wonder about that one myself. That gives the Lady Toppers a chance here with basically no time left in the third to add points to their slim lead now. But the first free throw by Teresa Faustino, no good. Second one, no good. And North Texas will go to the fourth quarter trailing by 1 against the red-hot Western Kentucky Lady Toppers. It's 44-43 in Denton, Texas this afternoon. Getting ready for the fourth quarter here in Denton. North Texas trailing Western Kentucky 44-43. Had a weird play there at the end of the third where Hope Savory was getting ready for a 3-point opportunity after she had made the bucket and was fouled. But you see Teresa Faustino there was not in position, and when Savory got the ball, she was not on the line, so it was a lane violation, and that's why we didn't have the free throw shot.
Hey, we were confused as heck up here. We didn't know what was going on. We got the control room letting us know what's going on, and we're closest to the court. D.A., we got to get our stuff together, man.
Hey, you know what? We really do. But I'm a big enough man to admit when I miss something, and I missed that one completely.
Well, you don't see that call too often,
No,
do
that's
you?
a very rare call, so I'll be okay. I'll sleep tonight. But the reason that I wanted to bring it up is because this is a 1-point game. Every point counts, and the fact that Western Kentucky did not get the opportunity to shoot that free throw, that could come back
It really
to
could.
hold them in the game.
It really could. And we talked about the momentum in this game and the ebb and flows of it. And in that three-pointer, you could tell immediately set the Mean Green up with some momentum.
Jump ball as the two players collide at near midcourt. Mead for the Lady Toppers, Jazzion Jackson, and it was Tamisha Lampkin for the Mean Green. And now the Toppers with possession on the possession arrow will have it, leading by 1.
Yeah, they're just such an aggressive squad. Coach Collins has this squad. I mean, anytime that loose balls, they are competing for every last one of them.
Blevins guarded by Jackson. Jazzion Jackson was looking at the ref, complaining, wanting an over and back violation, but
last time I checked,
finally got it.
That was backcourt. I think even members of the band are screaming out of backcourt. We all recognize that.
They had to lobby for it to get it, but they finally did. Jackson over to Noble. North Texas down by 1.
With the Toppers, they are staying right there. Boy, they are so aggressive.
And here's a coast-to-coast drive for Jalen Foster coming off that steal from Maya Meredith. Boy, Meredith was just so persistent on that last possession. Jackson up off the glass, no good. And an offensive foul against the Mean Green.
Man, that is just so tough right now. The way that the Mean Green have battled to get back in this game and to give up that turnover, boy, that's got to be killing for them.
That makes it a 3-point game. Lady Toppers on top and looking to make it 7 in a row. And a long three-pointer goes for Meryl Abdelgawad.
Abdelgawad hits that three and lets out a scream to let everyone know in the Super Pit that she's still here.
Dixon with the drive out to Jackson. She'll try to answer, won't go down, but Mean Green with the rebound. Jalen Mallard underneath Jackson. She goes up, has it knocked away. Ball goes out off the Hilltoppers.
And active hands right now for the Toppers. They are just not allowing anything easy to happen, even in the paint for the Mean Green.
I don't believe I've seen a more aggressive defensive team roll into the Super Pit in quite some time as these Lady Toppers. Another steal, another layup on the other end. This time, Blevins, and the Western Kentucky lead is back up to 8.
Yeah, and they have been pushing it this whole time. And you're absolutely correct. It's just the aggressiveness that they show on defense. You see it each and every time right there. They are diving for those loose balls and getting fouls.
Mean Green call a timeout with 7:49 remaining in the game. They had the lead down to 1 for the Lady Toppers, but Western Kentucky got on a roll, and now they lead again by 8, 51-43. Back to the Super Pit in a moment on ESPN. North Texas shooting 45% at the end of the first half, but here is the stat as we are just underway here in the fourth quarter, 40% for the game. Western Kentucky has really clamped down defensively. They were good defensively in the first half. They've been exceptional here in the second half.
Yeah, they are smothering right now, not allowing easy entry passes. As you see right here, they're standing in those passing lanes, just not allowing them to get it down into the paint where they know they have the advantage and shot clock violation.
There you go. Lady Toppers force a shot clock violation and lead by 8, 51-43. You see the frustration in Jalen Mitchell's face. Not sure what to do with this defense for the Lady Toppers. Abdelgawad with a feed to Meredith, off the glass and good.
Yeah, her and Meredith have been playing a two-man game this entire game. They're looking for one another, and they know exactly where they are on the floor, and you can tell Abdelgawad doesn't get flustered when she sees defenders running at her.
Meredith, the third Lady Topper, into double figures. Abdelgawad and Blevins, the other two. No one has cracked double digits for the Mean Green as Mallard's shot falls off the mark.
Yeah, even when they are successful at getting it in and they think that they have the advantage height-wise, it's just the Toppers defense that's just not allowing them to do anything.
And the Lady Toppers content not to try and push the pace here as they try to make it a good effort at the basket, but they have it stolen away. Gomez.
Good job by
Gomez
Noble.
driving is good with a foul.
Hey, Ali Gomez is so tough. She's been taking some fouls, hitting the floor. We talked a lot about this, her hitting the floor and how tough she is, but you can see it right there on the display. She knows she's going to hit the ground pretty hard, but she has to get the ball up.
Alexis Mead charged with the foul. And it's a three-point opportunity for Ali Gomez. Well, you're right. Gomez just has been punished physically in this ballgame, and you can tell it on her face. She's feeling the effects of it, hanging in there like a gamer, trying to convert the three-point play, which would make it a 7-point game, and she does. That's our first three of the night, first 3 points.
Yeah. Maddie Townley's going to come in for her. But I know that Coach Jalen Mitch is going to try and figure out a way to get Gomez back on the court as quick as possible because she needs her defensive rebounding ability.
7-point advantage, Western Kentucky. Blevins down low, the feed to Foster. Meredith can't handle it. Blevins driving against Noble, and a whistle away from the ball. Foul goes against North Texas. Lady Topper set to inbound. Foul was charged to Quincy Noble. Noble with the steal though, and she drives, puts one up, no good, but a foul call.
Hey, that was the reward because Quincy Noble was staring at the referee like, how could I have played that any better, and you call a foul. But sometimes the ball will reward you.
And Noble will try to make it pay at the free throw line. First one good. Quincy Noble with 8 points on the afternoon and make it 9.
I got to ask you, DA, what else does the Mean Green have to do to get back in this game? They've inched back, they've clawed back, now down by 5, well 7, and every time they get something positive to go down, to happen for them, it seems like the Toppers make 2 or 3 things positive happen for them.
I think that's the story of the game so far is the response by the Lady Toppers every time North Texas has tried to mount a rally and close that gap. They have an answer. They're able to come up with a big defensive play or make a big shot on the other end, and that's the reason that they have maintained a 7-8 point lead throughout most of this game. Abdelgawad driving, loses it. Mallard with it, and Townley will move it across the timeline. And just like that, that's what happens. Townley giving it up on a pass to Dixon. And Western Kentucky with the ball right back.
Just this great anticipation by Meade. She knew as soon as she led Townley by her that there was a shooter sitting on the baseline, and that's where she set her sights.
Blevins brings Townley out high, and now we'll feed it over to Meade. Blevins open for a 3. Misses this one. Ball goes out, North Texas ball.
It's great having that happen for the Mean Green, but they're trying to close out on Macy Blevins because they know she's already hit a few 3-pointers on them so far, but they just got to continue with that great defense if they want to get back in this game with 4 minutes and 29 seconds left in this game here at the Super Pit in Denton.
Lady Toppers with a 55-48 edge in the Super Pit in Denton. Doug Anderson, Heckma Harrison with you from Denton this afternoon. And if North Texas is going to rally and snap the 6-game winning streak for the Lady Toppers, they have to make the move and make it now.
Yeah, it's going to, right now, at this very second, DA, they got to do it. They got to knock down some shots. And the turnovers have got to stop here in the next 4 minutes and 26 seconds. That's made the difference in the way that the Toppers have been closing out on their shooters, and immediately there's a turnover. Took too much time.
26 turnovers in the game for North Texas. That tells you a large part of the story of this afternoon's contest.
Yeah, it's got to be a head scratcher for Coach Jalen Mitchell, who makes so many great adjustments coming out of the timeout. She probably had something great drawn up, but doesn't work that way.
Lady Toppers with Blevins on the drive, no. And the rebound to Townley. Jazzion Jackson up ahead to Dixon. And Dixon loses it driving into the lane.
Yeah, that's the maddening thing about this game. When you look at 33 rebounds to 18 rebounds, but then you go back to the turnovers, that's 27 turnovers for the Mean Green.
Yeah, they've got a huge rebounding advantage in this game, but they have not been able to capitalize on that because of the turnovers. Coach Jalen Mitchell looks on. Her team snapped a 3-game losing skid the other night, beating Marshall 64-54, but in danger of starting a new losing streak if they can't rally here in the final 3.5 minutes. Allie Gomez will get charged with a body foul.
Looked like a loose ball, but again, they're going to get the foul on Gomez.
Aggressively trying to go after it. And you have to. Down by 7 with 3.5 minutes left. Mead driving against the double team. Meredith, 3-point shot on the way, won't go. Jackson with the rebound. A good time for Jazzion Jackson to get into double figures. Noble with the shot on the way, no good.
Maddie Townley doing a good job of running the floor and getting that rebound. But again, like you said, that was a shot that definitely needed to go down for Quincy Noble. They're running out of time right now, so they can't be conservative.
Noble thought about the 3 from the baseline, drives and loses it. It's tied up. And with that, Lady Toppers should have it on the possession there. There's a timeout on the court with 2:52 remaining in the ball game, and Western Kentucky with a 55-48 advantage over the Mean Green.
Yeah, they've been doing such a wonderful job defensively, stepping in front of trying to get those charges, loose balls, everything. Really impressed by Greg Collins' squad. This is his 4th year, and you can tell, man, this is a squad that's going to give Conference USA fits. A team that they had projected as being 12th. I think someone got that wrong because they're a lot better than that. And right now, Coach Jalen Mitchell and her team preseason was predicted to be 7th, and that's the best preseason prediction for her in her time here at North Texas. Just has to take advantage of it, and it doesn't get any easier from here, DA.
No, it certainly does not. Not for North Texas, and not really for Western Kentucky either. North Texas has games coming up at Rice, at Charlotte, at Old Dominion. Western Kentucky has a homestand coming up against the Florida teams, Florida Atlantic, FIU. They'll be hoping to steam into that, riding a 7-game winning streak.
Yeah, another turnover for the Mean Green and a quick pass. Another one. It has just been turnover central here at the Super Pit, and it's all set up by the Toppers in their defense.
9-point advantage for Western Kentucky. Mead to Abdelgawad. She wants to feed it down low. She will to Foster. Foster backing down Townley, shot up and good.
Yeah, don't see that too many times where Foster goes in and she's calling her shot because she wants to get her shot off versus Townley, and she gets it.
And it was very nearly another steal off the inbound pass. Watch Abdelgawad here, if we have enough to show you. There's the shot by Foster. Right after that, Abdelgawad steps in and nearly steals the inbound pass. We're talking about 2 minutes left in this game, and they are playing just as aggressively, there it is right there, as they were at the very beginning of the game.
Yes, and I mean, look, this is the way that they played, and DA, you hit the nail right on the head. They have not wavered in the aggression from the tip-off to now. And I don't know if anyone else is watching this game for Conference USA, they're putting people on notice right now because this game really hadn't been close at all, DA.
No, it's gotten down to 1 point at times, during the game. But for the most part, when you look at the flow of this game, it's been an 8 to 9 point lead for Western Kentucky throughout.
Yes, and Alexis Meade, the freshman, the 5'5" freshman, she is putting so much pressure on this Mean Green defense and also their offense because she's always in those passing lanes getting steals.
Jackson to Noble. Inside Townley finding Villas-Gomes underneath for the bucket.
And I would say that's probably the easiest bucket that the Mean Green have had all night.
Meade, the kick out to Meredith. Under 2 minutes to play. Meredith almost has it stolen. Up top to Meade. And the Lady Toppers will operate with 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Now down to 5, shot up, no good. Rebound, North Texas. There's that pestering defense for the Lady Toppers as they continue to try and swipe away at the ball, but they commit a foul this time.
Boy, I tell you, Alexis Meade, she's just like a gnat. She won't go away. She's always around the ball.
North Texas down by 9. Gomez to the corner, Jackson. Jackson, 9 first half points, has not scored in the second half. Ball knocked out of bounds by Blevins.
Yeah, they're just staying close, staying around the ball, but with 1 minute and 5 left, down by 9, it's going to be tough to see Mean Green try and find something in their offense, something to feel good about in this game.
Noble. Pass up top, Gomez. Now inside, Villas-Gomes with an open lane to Noble, but there is a whistle underneath. A foul called against the Lady Toppers. It's a foul that's going to go against Jalen Foster.
Yeah, they showed so many different looks defensively, whether it be zone, man, doesn't matter. They're switching it up, seems like on every possession.
Gomez, quick shot for 3, no good. Villas-Gomes with the rebound, Jazzion Jackson. Her shot won't go. North Texas lost the shooting touch here in the second half. You give a lot of credit to Western Kentucky for that with their defense, but definitely a second half that the Mean Green would like to forget as Meade drives the basket, no good.
And still playing tough defense as the Toppers.
Noble just inside the free throw line. Makes it a 7-point game and a foul with 13 and a half seconds left to go in the contest.
And you say the tell of the tape, and just looking at this game, the Mean Green only have one player in double figures, and that's Quincy Noble. But you look on the other side, for the Toppers, they have 4.
Yeah, they've been able to put together a nice, well-rounded effort this afternoon. A foul on Noble. She knocks Alexis Meade to the hardwood. Quincy Noble with 11. Abdelgawad leads the way for the Lady Toppers with 18. And Alexis Meade at the free throw line, looking to become another Lady Topper into double digits, and she does. She has 10 with that free throw.
Yeah, so let me clear that up, DA. I was saying that there was 4 in double digits. It's actually 3. I was just having a premonition about her going into making the 4th.
You were telling the future. She becomes the 4th. And with that, now 11 points for Meade and a 61-52 Lady Topper lead with 10 seconds left of the game.
It's been that kind of a contest tonight for the Mean Green. They haven't been able to get anything going offensively, but we talked before the game about what would be those points that we would have to stick to. Going in, we knew that the Toppers, if you were not able to get to 60 or 70 points, their win rate percentage was really high. Look at that. Now the Mean Green at 52 points, and they're going to lose this ball game.
It has been a defensive gym this afternoon for Western Kentucky, as they have been able to frustrate North Texas on both ends of the floor. And that is how they are going to ride their win streak to 7 games and improve to 5-0 in Conference USA play.
Yeah, I don't know how you deal with a player like Abdel Gawad, because she can steal, rebound, hit threes. Her perimeter game is there. Inside game is there as well. She gives you all you can handle.
Jackson, long pass inbound to Noble. Three-pointer on the way, partially deflected. And a shot up by Townley won't go. There's a foul underneath. Maddie Townley will have a chance to add to her stat sheet anyway. 5 points and 8 rebounds for Maddie Townley in this game. She came in 17 shy of the all-time record for UNT. So with 8, my math serves me right, that leaves her with about 9 more to go.
Yeah, she'll get there. And that's her forte. That's what she does better than anyone, is getting those rebounds. She just hadn't been a much part of the offense today, which is kind of strange for Maddie Townley, because she also has a really diversified game.
Lady Toppers will dribble out the clock, and they will run a win streak to 7 in a row. They have won 11 of their last 12. They are the hottest team in Conference USA, and they win it this afternoon here in Denton by a score of 61-54.
It's a great game and a great test for Jaylee Mitchell's squad. I'm sure she's going to take this tape and come back to it and just show them how the Toppers pretty much just smothered them defensively. They've got to find their offense and find a way to get the ball shared amongst them.
Next time up for North Texas, they will be taking on the Charlotte 49ers, and we will certainly be interested to see how that game goes, as they lose one today to Western Kentucky 61-54. That's the final score for Heckma Harrison. I'm Doug Anderson, and I want to remind you that all games airing on the ESPN family of networks are archived on the ESPN app. Once again, from Denton, 61-54, Western Kentucky beats North Texas. Good afternoon from the Super Pit.